I was listening to one man speak today, and quite frankly, I was prepared that a good part of his speech would be fluff and blah, blah, blah talk. But his entire speech turned out to be like that. Moreover, many parts of his speech were so bad that they sounded like insult to fluff and blah, blah, blah talk. I'm talking about Russia's President Vladimir Putin address to the nation delivered today on February 21st, 2023. To say that I was surprised would be a very gross understatement. In this stream, I'd like to examine actions that happened before Putin's address, Putin's speech, and actions that happened after Putin's address. I'd like to examine that under microscope. Howdy, howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you news updates that I find important that explain what's truly happening inside Russia now. What you will not find on this channel is propaganda, BS, and lies. What you will find on this channel is common sense, logic, and truth. And quite a bit of emotions as well, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. In the first 30 minutes, I give my daily message. If you want to continue, engage after that, I turn on the comments and you can participate in a live stream chat, conversing, commenting, and asking questions, and I would love that very much. Thank you, and let's jump right into the message, because, well, it's been eventful 2 days. Russian President Vladimir Putin, the man who made decision to attack Ukraine and who took personal responsibility for that, most likely the most hated man in the entire world outside Russia, addressed the nation today. Something sinister had been floating in the air for a week or about 10 days before his address, before his speech. Many Russians were very concerned and scared, myself included. We were preparing for something really, really bad, something sinister to happen. You know, like Putin announcing total war against the entire world and involving Russia and the Russians into it. Or like pronouncing peacekeeping operation, in Ukraine, things like that. I personally was sure, I thought he would announce stop of special military operation. That's how the war in Ukraine is called in Russia. And would announce the start of counter-terrorist operation in Ukraine. I turned out to be wrong for the most part, and boy, I am glad to be wrong in this matter. Vladimir Putin talked for 2 hours, but did not say anything worthy at all. 2 hours of blah, blah, blah fluff talk. And at times, what he was saying, like I already said, it was insult to fluff and blah, blah, blah talk. Right now, what I would like to do is to give you a short summary of his speech, very, very dry and short. And then I'd like to tell you about other events that happened outside Putin's address and how important they are and how connected they are to Putin's speech. And, I'll give you my analysis of what has happened and what is about to happen. I'll tell you in tomorrow's stream and in the end of this stream. So please stay tuned. Now let's start with Putin's speech. Right now I'd like to give you a short summary. This is it. We live in a milestone time when the most important events are taking place. In Ukraine, the West played with marked cards and now it admits it without hesitation openly. The West started the war. They started the war. We use force to stop it. The more long-range Western weapon systems arrive to Ukraine, the more we will be forced to move our goals, targets away from our borders. We will not engage in a witch hunt. Those who left Russia, let it remain on their conscience. But the ones who are traitors, they will be punished. The ones who sidestepped, we will forgive them. But the ones who betray Russia deliberately, they will be prosecuted according to Russian laws. We will give all participants of special military operation a vacation, 14 days every 6 months. We will create a state fund, financial fund, to help the families of the ones fallen in the special military operation. The West has also deployed an economic front against us. It has started waging the economic war against Russia. But it has not achieved anything on the economic front. The war has been going on, the economic war against Russia has been going on for 1 year, but the Russian economy is going strong. It has not fallen apart. Russia's GDP declined by 2.1%, and 1 year ago, everyone in the West predicted that the Russian economy would collapse completely, but it did not. It just deflated by 2.1%. We will take our economy to new frontiers. There are opportunities for great breakthroughs right now. The image of the West as safe haven turned out to be a fake, and those who did not understand it have lost a lot. None of the ordinary citizens felt sorry for the ones who lost their capitals, lost their yachts, lost their palaces in the West. I have told such people it is pointless to run with an outstretched hand. Be with your homeland. Have capitals in your homeland. Do business in your homeland. Live in your homeland. Presidential elections will be held in 2024 in accordance with Russian law. Gubernatorial elections and elections to the legislative assemblies of the regions will also be held in compliance with all democratic constitutional procedures in September of this year, 2023. And at the end of the message, Russia suspends its participation in the Strategic Offensive Arms Treaty. There is information that the United States is thinking about conducting nuclear tests. We will not conduct nuclear tests first, but if the USA does it, we will do it too. So basically, this is a very short summary of what Putin was talking about for 2 hours. 2 freaking hours. This is his speech in a nutshell. I was watching it, I was streaming, and at first it was bewilderment. And then monotonous Putin became boring, really boring. Some Russian politicians, those who were sitting in the front lines, in the front rows of this huge hall, they fell asleep during the speech and they were caught on camera. They did not show it live. Obviously, Russian government does not usually show you the truth, but there are videos of them falling asleep right now circulating over internet. So that's what has been about the Putin address. But his address was not only one event of importance yesterday and today. And now I will tell you about the events, and you will understand why it's important to look at this whole thing combined. Yesterday, one day before Putin's address, that had been planned for about 11, 12 days before, American President Joseph Biden visited Ukraine unexpectedly, met Ukrainian President Zelensky, and took a stroll on Kyiv's streets amidst air attack warning sirens. Although I don't believe they're real ones. But anyway, we heard the sirens, we heard the air defense warning. A very bold move and a very strong message from the American president. And that's not just talking the talk, that's walking the walk, my friends. To the entire world and to Putin, that was a message. So that was yesterday, and I covered it in yesterday's stream, and I find it absolutely significantly important, Go and check it out, yesterday's stream. Today, President Joseph Biden delivered his own scheduled message from Poland after Vladimir Putin was finished with his address a few hours later. Biden delivered another message, this time oral. He spoke to the Russians, to Vladimir Putin, and to the entire world. And this is what he said. Again, let me give you a short summary of his speech. A year ago, Russian tanks entered Ukraine, invaded Ukraine. The world expected the fall of Kiev, but Ukraine remains free. Instead of the easy victory that Vladimir Putin had hoped for, he was left with burned tanks and troops in confusion. He expected a split of NATO, but now NATO is united as never before. Autocrats cannot be appeased. They can only be resisted. Autocrats understand only one word, no. No, you won't take over my country. No. You won't deprive me of my freedom. No, you won't take away my future. Ukraine continues to fight Russian aggression. This is an uphill struggle, but Ukraine is ready for it. We will help Ukraine defend itself. There should be no doubt. We will not falter and will not get tired of supporting Ukraine. This week, we will announce new sanctions against Russia. I am addressing the people of Russia. The United States and European countries are not going to destroy Russia. The West was not going to attack Russia, as Putin has said. Putin chose this war, and he can stop it immediately, but we will punish all those who commit war crimes and crimes against humanity. In moments of great uncertainty, the most important thing is to know what values you stand for and who is fighting with you. As Poles know well, this is solidarity in the face of repression. This is the courage of the opposition leaders and the people of Belarus who continue to fight for democracy. This is the determination of the Moldovan people to remain free, defend their independence, and follow the path to the EU membership. Soon we will celebrate the 75th anniversary of NATO. The United States will always comply with its obligations under Article 5 of the Collective Security Treaty. An attack on one is an attack on all. God bless the defenders of Ukraine and all those who defend freedom. And this is, in a nutshell, what Joseph Biden said. Now, my analysis. First, something very, very subjective, very emotional. Two things. We are in Russia. We are so back into the USSR. Soviet leaders always delivered dry, boring speeches and always distanced themselves from God. Well, no, not like this. God did not exist in their vocabulary, okay? there was never mention of God. And the speeches were read on paper and they were so freaking boring. There were no emotions, there were no involvements, personal moments of people who were listening. And people used to fall asleep listening to those Soviet communist speeches. In America, God is presented virtually everywhere. For goodness sake, God Bless America is printed on every single American dollar, okay? Biden ends his speech by saying, God bless the defenders of Ukraine and all those who defend freedom. This proves one more time, we in Russia are so back into the USSR. There's a huge contrast between the politicians in America, in the rest of the world, in the West, and the Russian ones. Ooh. So that's pretty emotional, subjective on a comparison. And now to the analysis, okay? First things first, 2 days ago, live streaming, I made a forecast saying that Putin's speech will consist of 2 parts. First part, the blah, blah, blah part in the actual message. And I was right about the first part. He did much ado about nothing talk. And by the way, he lied 6 times during that part, the blah, blah, blah part. And the thing is, he did not have the second part. He did not have the message. He just had the blah, blah, blah part. Not because he forgot the message, but he simply does not have the message. He has nothing to show and nothing to do. Like I said many times, he is in Zugzwang, in a position where every move he takes will land him in a worse position. The thing is, he has placed in Zugzwang himself. He has no one to blame for it, okay? He failed miserably in this thing with Ukraine. He shot in his both legs. And I'm not talking about Russia. He has taken Russia down along with him, okay? But he has decided his own fate, and it's only a matter of time, So he's in Zugzwang, and he has nothing to do. I thought he would try to make a drastic move to try to break away from Zugzwang situation. But guess what? He can't. He doesn't know what to do. He has no plans. And what's going to happen next in Russia after Putin's failure, miserable failure to deliver new plan, new idea, to deliver anything except for things that make blah, blah, blah look fantastic speech, I'm going to talk in tomorrow's stream on what I think will be happening in Russia over a time of spring that is just around the corner and summer. So tune in to tomorrow's live stream. That's basically a very short and very, I don't know what else to say about Putin's speech. He has no idea what to do. That's the message he projects, And by the way, I said that he lied 6 times. I did fairly brief analysis of what he said, and some things were striking me, like as he was speaking. I talk a lot about a lot of different issues in my streams. And before every stream, when I create the message, when I research, I do a lot of fact checking. And I know lots of things by heart. And he was telling things I know that they were not true. Just like that, So, number 1, Putin said that GDP in 2022 decreased by 2.1%, which is not a big deal. He said, well, they predicted the economy would collapse, but look, it's only minus 2.1%. Like, that's not enough, If economy grows by 0.5%, that's considered like a terrible disaster. but it's minus 2.1. But wait a second. According to the World Bank experts, Russian GDP decreased by 3.5%. 3.5, not 2.1 in 2022. 2.1 is Rosstat data. That is most likely cooked. That's Russian statistics agency. The agency, it understands that it needs to please the Tsar. So it kind of like shows the statistics at a little different angle, losing, 1.4% of negative growth. So that's it. Line number 2. Putin said, we have avoided excessive regulation skewing the economy towards the state regulation. So basically, he meant that there was a temptation to nationalize economy and have state control it, so turning away from market economy. But the government has avoided this temptation. In fact, back in March 2022, financial antitrust agencies strengthened the control of pricing of socially significant good, and that control procedure is still in place. Regulation takes place informally, despite the fact that the prices are not frozen at the low levels that they were before the war. There is administrative pressure on business to keep the prices low. Retail stores were forced not to raise prices for goods such as bread, sugar, milk. They were forced, trading at a loss in these categories, to raise prices for other goods. Okay, so lie. Lie number 3. Putin said the Western countries have provoked price increase in their own countries, loss of jobs, closure of enterprises, energy crisis. In reality, situation is a little different. In the EU countries, unemployment is at fairly low level, 6.1% versus 7.5% 2 years prior. In the United States, an economic crisis was looming on the horizon, but things are not bad, and unemployment is low as far as I understand. So the Western countries have provoked increases of loss of jobs, closure of enterprise. Well, as usual, fluff talk and blah, blah, blah. Give us the numbers. Give us which countries, Give us the periods of time. Give us the number of enterprises. You are the president, for God's sake, You have access to all freaking data in the world. Just like this, you can order and the data will be provided. And you just telling us this bullshit? God. Another lie, moving on. Russian banks are operating very stably. In general, the banking sector last year worked with a profit of 203 billion rubles. Woohoo! In 2022, the profit of banking sector, banking industry, financial sector, the commercial banks combined fell by almost 11 times compared to 2021. Folks, think about that. In 2021, in a very bad year ridden by COVID, Russian banks earned profits 11 times more that they earned the following year, 2022. How is this that system? We are seeing the decline and stability of Russian financial system for one simple reason. A wave of bankruptcies and defaults, both personal loans and corporate loans, is coming upon Russia. Well, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. The data is out. So therefore, banks are in for a hugely bad year. And yet Putin tells us that everything is peachy dory, I'm sorry, but that's a lie. Another lie. After the departure of Western firms, Russian Federation can reveal enormous potential, meaning to fill the void, the vacuum that was created after those firms, the companies left. That's a lie, because one of the top Russia's politicians, for example, United Russia's one of the tops of United Russia's party, Andrei Klishas, openly said the failure of import substitutions is open and obvious. Okay, it's been said so many times by different officials that it's not funny. So it's either them lying or Putin lying. I think it's not them. And another lie, Putin promised in his speech not to spend all the money on weapons. He was talking how there are so many programs are open and will be open to support arts, culture, education, social services and so forth. He said, solving strategic tasks in the field of defense, we should not repeat the mistakes of the past. We should not destroy our own economy. And in reality, defense spending will continue to grow until 2024. In this year, in 2023, they increased by 1.5 trillion rubles to 5 trillion rubles compared to the previous year. And the budget allocations for education and medicine in 2023 amounted to only 2.7 trillion rubles. So let's compare 5 trillion for defense spending and for education and medicine combined, 2.7, almost twice as little. So what the fudge? He's telling us one thing, and on paper, in open access, everyone can look at the Russian budget for 2023. It states differently. Whew. So, folks, you know what? All in all, the address that Vladimir Putin did, from his address, it looks like Russian king has no clothes. At least to me, it's pretty obvious. He lies even about basic things, and he fails to say something interesting, even one thing that can catch my attention to millions of people, and even people who are his biggest, foundation, who he rely on, the politicians. They sit right in front of him, few yards from him, and they fall asleep right in front of him speaking, okay? So he fails to deliver anything that catches people's interest, in a good or in a bad way. So he plain and simple, he has no clothes. And look at Joseph Biden, the guy much older than Putin. He's been under so much criticism, but look what he has done. He has talked the talk and he has walked the walk, okay? He delivered 2 huge blows to Putin yesterday and today, and they are so beautifully done that you look at them and you admire and you go, wow, I understand how these people, how his assistants work. I understand how his speechwriters write him speeches, that their speech that actually is good to hear, interesting, and you compare it to Putin's speech and you go, what the fudge, it's incredible. The contrast is absolutely striking. The king has no clothes, the Russian king, and the American president is going strong, sending very strong messages to the Russians, Putin himself, Russian politicians, to the polls where he was actually speaking. And he chose that location, not just like that, because Poland was always on the edge of resistance. Remember Solidarity movement in the 80s, and Poland was actually the first one to show the Eastern European bloc how to stand up and change things around, And I think that he chose Poland for his speech with a very very obvious reason, and it's a clear message as well. So this is actually pretty unbelievable. Putin has lost once more time. He's been outplayed by Biden, by his administration, and basically by Western countries. And to say I'm disappointed, I'm not. I'm actually very relieved. Let's talk about what's now. Like I said, I was very concerned. I was concerned and scared. I was scared that he would announce stupid things like a total war on everyone. And what can you do if it happens? So I was sitting there and just hoping and praying that he would not. I'm not scared anymore, but I'm still concerned. Not as much as I used to. Much less, but still, there's space for concern. The situation is still very unpredictable, and anything can happen. Putin can change his mind. In 2 days, the anniversary, I don't know how we call it, not anniversary, but like 1 year date coming from when he started attacking Ukraine and killing Ukrainians, right? He can do something unpredictable on February 24th. Not likely, but he might announce something major. He just had an opportunity to do that in a very good settings for him. The address of the Russians, it's called the Union address, but it's really not just towards politicians, but towards Russians. And he didn't announce anything. He just failed miserably. People, his own politicians who had met a couple days ago and discussed big things, well, have fallen asleep, okay? That's a huge failure. But there's still possibility him announcing something big and something sinister, albeit I'm not too worried about that. I named my stream 2 days ago, Putin will change Russia forever, on the 21st of February. And you know what? He did today. He showed that he has absolutely nothing left up his sleeves. He doesn't have ideology. He doesn't have influence on Russian people, well, on his own politicians who fall asleep during his speech. He does not have any military resource left he can present and try to change the losing situation with. He does not have anything at this point. His speech showed me that Russia has already lost this battle, this war, and the end of it in not very favorable way for Russia is just a matter of time. And this has been my message. Thank you so much, my friends, for giving me a chance, coming, watching, listening. Before I turn on the comments where I am inviting you to converse, comment, let me know what you think about Putin's speech and my analysis. You can bash me for being wrong 2 days ago. Whatever you want, I'll be happy to take that, because I'm actually happy to be wrong this time. Please, comment, ask questions. I'll try to answer as much as I can. And before I turn on the comments, I'd like to ask you to do a few things. Please help spread my message by making reposts in your social media accounts. If you found what I said valuable and interesting, please sign up for my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia. The link to the channel will be in the description below the stream once it ends. And if you liked my message today, so would you please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any further updates. Thank you so very much. Turning on comments just about now. If you don't see the comments popping up on your screen, please press refresh button and the comments, you should see the comments. You must be a subscriber to the channel, by the way. There you go. Так. Just give me a couple seconds. As usual, I am asking you to put comments in caps and put inside Russia after @ so I see your comment or question in a large orange box, so that way I see it much easier. I usually don't read the comments that are not in caps because it's very difficult. And before I start, I'd like to say thank you so much to the mods. This is the second stream today. Lorna, Mommy, Black Cat, Harry Potter, and Amir and Bob, thank you. I think there were Lorna and Mommy in the... I didn't even see much of the comments because I was listening to Putin's speech and I was just trying to interpret, just trying to understand it, So I know that Mommy and Lorna were there and Black Cat was driving. Friends, thank you so much. And the usual suspects, great to see you. New faces, welcome to this community. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's jump right into this thing. Tupla Lusto, hello from Finland. Howdy, howdy. How does it feel to have better message than actual president who has all kinds of little Kremlin gremlins helping him to do it? Thank you. You know what? You're not the first one who actually gave me this idea. Right after Putin's speech, I was speechless. No pun intended. I was thinking, and this thought popped in my head, like, gosh, every single day I prepare and deliver far better messages that Vladimir Putin did today, and he was speaking for 2 hours. And he has an army of gremlins and goblins and speechwriters and, I don't know, people who wipe his nose and stuff like that. And I deliver 1000% better, much clearer, much more logical messages. What the fudge? Where do my money... Well, I'm not paying taxes anymore there. Where did my money go to? Where do Russian money goes to? The taxpayer money. This is crazy, So thank you so much. But you know what? I think so too. My message every day and today is much better than Putin delivered today. It's actually incredible. I don't know. Did you actually see it? Did you see him delivering his speech? What do you think? John Wakamatsu, have a drink too. Blah, blah. Thank you, John, from Los Angeles. Hey, send in love to LA. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I'd be safe and sound if I was in LA. Thank you. Having a drink on you. Brian Woods, thank you for being our eyes and ears to everything inside Russia. Brian, that's my mission. Thank you so much for coming, for commenting, being part of the community, and supporting, because support is also very important. Not the most important thing, but yeah, I live off YouTube these days, so that's hugely important. David Sharp, hi Constantine, glad you're well. I'm much better right now. I'm second day in a row. Don't have running nose anymore, so I've recovered. This time, my friends, it was not polonium in my tea. He called it a war more than once, I think. Does this mean it now a war in his eyes? In his eyes, it was always a war. There's no question about my eyes. It's just in my eyes, but it was not supposed to be called a war. They didn't want to excite Russian people's minds, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. It's not a war. War is a big deal. War is, let's put aside peaceful life, we're at war. But special military operation, that's out there somewhere happening by a few soldiers. Don't worry about it. It's not going to cost you anything. That's not a war. That's just a special military operation that we're conducting. That's it. So he did call it a war. Now, the propagandists, they some said, "Oh, it's a war." Let's be honest, that's a war. But there's not. I don't think there's a ban anymore on this word. But they try to avoid the word war, but it's not as strict as it used to be, because you're right. He said it himself. Laurie Hill, amazing breakdown. You're easy to listen to. No sleeping on your mess. Jesus. This is fantastic. Thank you so much, Lori. No sleeping on you. I'm telling you, my messages are better than Putin's. And I have more people too. There are 4,277 people listening, and Putin only had 1,400 presented. So, hey, what do you know? Thank you for your support, Lori. And there's a huge support from Michael Yukon. Thank you so much. I found the speech more than blah blah, as he's setting the table for a switch to greater Soviet system. What happens in the next few weeks will tell the real story. Man, I disagree that he's setting the table for a switch to greater Soviet system. Like what? The two things that more or less you could consider messages he delivered is, number one, it's semi-message. He hinted that Russian's educational system is going to be rehauled and modeled after the Soviet system, but it's not news. It's been done. It's been being done for the past 6 months. And the second, he addressed his message to not Russian people, but big businessmen, the oligarchs. He said, make money, do business, but stay in Russia and keep your money in Russia, invest in Russia. That was a direct message to them. But I guess it's not news as well. So other than that, agree with you on that what happens in the next few weeks will tell the real story. But I will tell you what happens in the next few weeks. At least I will forecast, Dan, thank you so much. But everyone said Putin is a great mastermind doing 4D chess. What happened? Two things. Either people were mistaken or something happened to him. Things happen. I thought that he was a mastermind as well, but a long time ago. But then I don't think so too. I don't think so anymore. I mean, come on, he just fails to deliver messages and people fall asleep while he speaks. That's not mastermind. Janice Lauren, thank you for all knowledge and information. Thank you so much, Janice, for your support and for your words. Thank you. Jekyll N, wow. There's actually words message. Thank you so much. Great to see you write something. Putin said a lot of crap last night, but I'm afraid his real intention are still hidden and revealed at the last moment, like the invasion of Ukraine last year. Cannot trust liars. Thank you. It's a very good message. It's hard to disagree with you. And this is what I said at the very end of the stream. I'm still concerned, but I'm less concerned than before, because he had a perfect setting to deliver something, perfect stage, and he hasn't. But he might order a big... he most likely will order a big advancement on Ukraine on all fronts, and then they've been mobilizing people like crazy in the past couple of weeks. But that's not news, and it's expected, it's predicted. It's not like something radical, you know what I mean? My friends, if I miss someone's super chat, I apologize. There are quite a few, and I've tried to acknowledge and answer everyone. Caesars inside Russia, I don't know if you're wrong or not, but the Moscow Times comments practically the same way as you. Moscow Times comments practically the same. I don't read Moscow Times. I have never read, perhaps 10 years ago, so I don't know what they comment. Me, I am being me. That plain and simple, So, I don't know. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being here. Joerg Applehorst, will Putin's today performance encourage even more potential successors with even more radical vision of future Russia? The game is on. The game to succeed Putin is on. I'm pretty sure there are groups that are fighting over who's going to be next. And Putin knows that, and I think he's trembling. He's scared to death about that. This message did not help him today. It showed them weakness. It showed the few power figures were missing. That is unheard, and it just tells you a lot. Okay. Nikki87, thank you for the consistent, intelligent, thoughtful discussions. Nikki, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for the compliment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sylvia Autenreith, thank you so much for your support. And Bob Brennan, no message, but this message is huge. Trust me, Bob, it's noticed. It's very welcomed. It's much needed. Thank you so much. Sylvia Autenreith, do you hear about Putin's leaked plans related to Belarus? Been too many news. I don't know what to believe, really. There are rampant news about Russia annexing Ukraine, Russia annexing Moldova, forget about Moldova. Moldova will not give up that easily. But Belarus, well, we kind of have like the same country with Belarus already. We don't have borders. And Lukashenko is a puppet of Putin. So he might seize Belarus, annex Belarus, but why? I mean, why? He will lose more than he would gain. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Jay Acton, do you think it was a smokescreen to lull people to sleep? Also, could you send some prayers to Minnesota? We're supposed to get 24 inches of snow. Whoa. We had a wonderful day in Maine, not in Maine. I wish I was in Maine. In Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, and it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit today. Believe it or not, from snow and cold and ice 2 weeks ago to 70. But I will definitely pray to Minnesota. There you go. Wrote it down. Jay, thank you so much for your support. Blackad, give it up, Lorna, for doing. What's that? Give it up for Lorna. What's to give it up for Lorna? For doing a nasty stream solo. Thanks. Oh, so the mommy was not there? I'm sorry. Lorna, you were doing the stream by her. I'm all confused. Look, if you did the stream solo, I don't know what to say, Lorna. You are the super mod. I thought mommy was there, but confusing, Sorry about that. So I would like to ask everyone to virtually applaud to Lorna for doing a nasty stream solo. Thank you so much. And that was a nasty stream because it's, what can you do when such a thing is discussed and Putin is... Johan Olofsson, do you have any guess if Putin, one way or another, is retired? Has Yevgeny Prigozhin now become too weakened to become Putin's successor? From what it is, what it looks like right now, Yevgeny Prigozhin is out of the picture completely because, plain and simple, he has run out of money, he has run out of ammunition, and he's been going around and begging for generals to give him ammunitions, and everyone's saying, and you are? Like, who the hell are you? If you're a private company, private army, well, go get your own stuff. And then he's deflated. So he's not going to be Putin's successor. He has no one standing against him. He's not in any of power group that is fighting for power. So forget about Prigozhin. He's done deal, done figure. Agnes, thank you so much. I really hope you're right, Konstantin. Got to see you live again. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Great to receive word from you and great to have support from you. Thank you so much. I'm missing streams, super chats, they disappear. Sue Ross, speech writing 101, have a beginning, middle, and end. Konstantin, top of the class. Vlad back to nursery school. Blah, blah, blah. I'm glad. Entertaining. Lowell Asisu, thank you so much. That what can I say? I was shocked at his speech. He was jumping from one topic to another topic, like from economy to culture to education to soldiers and back to economy. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Thomas Fall, in 5 minutes you say more than he in 2 hours. Thank you, no blah, blah, blah. Putin has no Trump left. He's preparing his people to lose. He's preparing his people to lose. I didn't have this feeling, but that's a good thought. I'll think about that. He needs big enemy, not Ukraine, if he loses and to stay in power. Well, the big enemy is obviously the West, but we'll see how it goes, you know. We have a new sponsor, Charlie. Welcome to Inside Russia. Thanks for becoming sponsor. There will be a stream, private stream for sponsors and patrons, so sign up, please. Still planning on releasing 2 videos. I literally didn't have 1 free minute for anything. But I will do. I will definitely release 2 videos. I promise this week for patrons and sponsors to make up the absence of the stream that I was sick on Saturday. And there will be a stream on Saturday again, as usual. Darla, thank you so much from Canada. Thank you. You are amazing, not me. Thank you. Then I think I missed some super chats. Marilyn says that all mods deserve a round of applause, and I agree with that. Please, let's applause to them. Hang on. Ken BF65, good and interesting analysis of speeches. Thank you so much. Clash, Putin's speech contains more water than my bachelor's thesis. Grandpa is tired. Yeah, that's funny. The thing is, it's not him. Well, I hope it's not him doing the speech. It's the speechwriters, but you gotta have something in your brain to check on the speech before you deliver it or something, you know. I'd fire them after the speech. Perhaps he would too, and he'll throw them into Gulag. Rope access work, thank you. Putin threatens the West with nuclear weapons once a month. If someone else takes over, it could be someone else who also uses nuclear weapons. There are 2 major there's a crossroad, 2 major paths. Okay, I see. There are hawks in Russia and there are doves. The hawks, you are right. If one of the hawks takes over power, they could be continuing threatening West to use nuclear weapons. But in my mind, they will not use nuclear weapons because this is instant end for them. But if their doves get the power, they will come to the West, they will come to Ukraine and say, hey, you know what? It's not us. We didn't know. You know, Putin is gone. It's all his fault. And some people around him, we're going to get them and prosecute them. You know, do something nasty to them. Sacrifice to you. We're going to change around. We're going to be good. Just please accept us. Please make us a community. Let us back into the international community. You know, let us go to Miami. Let us go to south of France. Let us go to, London and unfreeze our assets. Give us back palaces and stuff like that. That's also a possibility. This is what might happen. It's actually very, very probable. Jason Carney comes back from Big Bang. Thank you, Jason, the super champion of supporting. Thank you so much. No message as usual, but your support is a huge message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you also give gifts of sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you from me, my wife, and from five people. Thank you, appreciate it. Lang Leech, those fell asleep might fall out of the windows. No, they don't. They won't. Because one of the guys fell asleep was the head of one of 3 Russia's parties in the parliament. And he's important. He's pro-Putin. He's a supporter. Putin met him like 3 days ago. And then he came out and he said, you know what? He had a speech in front of Russian parliament. He said, my friends, we need, all of us, we need to unite behind our president and turn down our oppositionness. So he called for all the senators and all Russians to turn down our oppositionness. It's not the time for opposition. We must unite. That's what he said. So that guy will not fall out of the window. Oh. Brian Quinn, Constantine, greetings from Scotland. Great channel. Thank you so much. I will try to stay safe as much as I can. Why? Let me tell you something. I've stopped drinking tea with people that I don't know. That I did. Isabel Ligo, and I also thank people for sending money. Thank you so much. He deserves it so much, and unfortunately, I can't participate financially. Hey, you know what, Isabel? It's no problem at all. It's so understood. You coming and watching, giving me a chance, supporting me with words isn't good enough. So thank you so much. Like I said many times, my money is not the primary goal for this channel. It helps a lot as I live off YouTube. But the main goal is I want to deliver a message. I want my message to be heard as many people as possible. I want to do something. I feel guilty and responsible for this fucking mess going on in Ukraine. And I want to, this is my way of doing things. I organize people here in Tashkent. I bring over Ukrainians. We had fantastic meeting in a breakfast club with a bunch of Ukrainians showed up. I try to connect people. I try to spread the truth. I try to do other things I don't want to talk about here. And this is what I do. This is my duty to do it. Okay, so thank you. So money is important and welcomed and needed, but it's not number one. So don't feel bad about you not sending super chat or anything like that. That's you coming and staying on the channel and talking to me like in the comments, and this is great. Thank you. KG1, is that why Russian public is so apathetic to the situation? Because Putin sends everyone to sleep? Yeah. Well, you know what? Obviously it's a joke, but perhaps they just need to get another guy who's more interesting, who makes more common sense. Amanda, we should have been wearing boots this morning for waiting around in Putin's love. Yes, I look forward to your streams every day. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate the words and I appreciate the support. Brooke Riddick, thank you for becoming deep inside Russia. Wow, that's a second sponsorship level. Thank you. Vernon Showers, it was hogwash. Hard to disagree with you. Susanna DeCirbo, thank you. No message, no words, but this message is strong enough. Thank you so much. Так. It was a snooze fest. Yep, Allison, it was. And I see Sean has just gifted sponsorship to 20 people. Thank you so much, Sean. Sean, it's people like you and Jason Carney and Julie W. and others. This sponsorship base has been growing tremendously. Thank you so very much. Nike does things. Did you go for that nice dinner tonight? I did. I went for a nice dinner and I had a shot of vodka with my friend. We celebrated. He's Ukrainian. He's 100% Ukrainian. He came over from Ukraine. Well, Shtoro, I'm keeping it polite, but Putin is wetting himself. He's having a sleepless night. Well, I don't know if he's wetting himself or not, but we'll see. We'll see. Definite Lorna has our love. Oh, you better believe it. Michael Schultz has given sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Lorna Top Mod. Janine. Lorna, I don't look at Lorna as just one mod. To me, Lorna and Mommy is like one, Thank you for uploading to Lorna. Jeffrey S. Do you know who else is Minnesotan? Papa Jeffrey. My friends, Jeffrey is a great member of this community. He has great sense of humor. He does good comments, but don't ever take his dating advice. Katzmo, we are keeping you and your family in our prayers. Thank you so much. Let me know if you need me to include you and your family into the prayers. Okay. Oh, so Lang Leach says only Lorna early on, super mod. Lorna, again, I apologize. I didn't see because I was just looking at Putin and I was listening to his speech and I wasn't even looking at the screen, what was happening there. Sam K, you can always catch the recording, no problem. Mo Y, thank you so much for your support and thank you for thinking. Rainmaker 39, what will Solovyov make of Putin's speech? Now, this is what my schedule looked like after the speech. I was finished with the speech. I had some things I needed to do for about 2 hours. I was behind my computer, writing, answering emails. Then I went to have a dinner. I came back and I fell asleep immediately. I slept for 2.5 hours because it's just, I'm not a robot. I'm a human being. I need to sleep sometimes. I woke up and I started looking. First of all, I did my analysis and I started looking at things. I haven't had a chance to look at Solovyov and other propagandists, any other experts for that matter. I still don't know what they have said, but I will tomorrow. And tomorrow I will do another stream on this thing. I will tell you my vision of what possibly can be happening next between Russia and Ukraine, Russian actions, and so forth. And I will tell you what the propagandists and what the usual popular opinion of Putin's speech in Russia. Okay? Where is Mama? Give her money, let her get a coffee or something. Blackhead, you can trust me on that, brother. I, take care of my mom financially. She doesn't need anything. She's like covered in care. So thank you so much. I promise you I will do the stream with her soon. Perhaps we'll include her in the video. We'll see. James Rhodes, I left the exact same message about Lorna shining solo after watching replay this morning. Laura, about Putin's speech, I was thinking, a dead man walking speech. You know what? You're more or less, it's hard to disagree with you. Nuna Oliveira, Putin's speech was delusional, empty of content and full of lies. What really revealed much was the audience reaction with revealed fear and like Lavrov defeat. Thanks for your message. Bless you. Nuno, it's really hard to disagree with you too. Scott Nesbitt, howdy. Fruit Bat, I watch every stream, although usually after the event. So glad you're now careful what you drink with strangers. Well, actually, I become paranoid. A new person joins the Breakfast Club, and I think, is it possible that, anyway, it's not good. It's a very poisonous feeling. Let me tell you, I hate it. Diana Smith, Inside Russia will be useful to hear what you think the future will bring. Tomorrow's stream is just about that. Tomorrow's stream. To me, it all looks very confusing. On my different agenda in play, so many different agendas. Yes, there are, but at least you can kind of like look at the directions things might go at. They're like the big directions, and then there are many deviations in every direction. Little Dickens, I found the speech somewhat disjointed. He kept drifting back to Ukraine. He didn't say much about Ukraine. He was saying about the West being evil, West using Ukraine as proxy, and he said, I quote, he said, "We did not start this war, but we used force to stop this war." So Ukraine was kind of out of the picture. It was a bunch of other stuff, like what's happening inside Russia. And yes, you're right. He kept on drifting back and forth from one topic to another, and that didn't make any sense. The speech was not written in the right way for delivery, for normal, good delivery understanding. The speechwriter needs to be fired. Devon Harris, if Russians are sick and tired of being sick and tired, they may be ready for change. We will see. I don't know what to say. We'll see about that. Lynn, you look so happy. You look happy, Konstantin. I feel the same. Maybe this hope Putin is backing off as he counts the losses for Russia and his mistakes. Peace to all here from Oz. Thank you so much, Lynn. Sending love to Australia. I hope you're right too. But I am happy today. Do you have any thoughts on Navalny? Please take care. My thoughts haven't changed. He does not deserve what's being done to him. He needs to be let out of prison. He's a political prisoner. He needs to be cleared of charges. The guy has got the rough, what's the saying? Anyway, he's in prison for nothing, basically. And he's a real political opposition. I disagree with with some things about Navalny. Not necessarily like him very much, but I think he deserves fairness. He deserves fair treatment. He deserves to be given a chance to represent himself, to present the Russian people as a political opposition and one of the possible candidates for one of the positions, perhaps president of Russia. That's what I think of Navalny. KG1 reports say Bakhmut is almost surrounded by Russian troops. Maybe Putin's goal for the anniversary. So many people have died there on both sides. Russian losses are absolutely tremendous. What kind of a goal for anniversary is that? Just to say, Bakhmut has fallen. They've been trying to get Bakhmut for the past 2 months, probably even more than that. So it's just a tragedy. Lisa, I'd like to know if Russia can't have religion. I always see Putin with a bishop. I'm Orthodox. How can a religion stand behind what Putin is doing? Lisa, I will address your question. I will share my opinion with you. Just give me 1 minute. Black Cat, Lisa Kumrian and others say hi to your mom as they missed Saturday stream. Okay. Saturday. This Saturday's 20 is number 1, right? 1st of March. Well, then they should come back to the stream after, but I will definitely say hi to her. Yesterday you said that Putin cannot afford to look weak. Was he looking weak today? Jesus, he did not look weak. He looked pretty powerful. He looked confident. Oh, the guy is confident. You can give it to him. But what he delivered is weakness. His message was weak, and that speaks louder than words and actions, okay? His message was about nothing. Much ado about nothing. And his audience saw that, and they reacted accordingly. They were like, no one was enthusiastic. No one was happy. They're all bored. And I think they'll understand that they're losing. And soon they will have to be answering for their actions. For the very simple fact that they're sitting in front of Putin, listening to him. They're going to be answering in court, perhaps international court. They know that. At least some of them know. And then they're not happy about that. Now, back to the question about, being Orthodox and stuff like that. I can't say disappointed. I'm confused about Russian church because I've heard so many accounts, official accounts, popes say, we're going to go to war. We're going to bless those who fight Ukrainians because Ukrainians are forces of evil. They're like Satanists. And the West, we're fighting the Satan. We're fighting forces of evil. Whoever dies in the war will go to heaven. Whoever will be killed. So it's not a big deal. Your soul will be saved. That's the priest saying. There are tons of videos about that. I have one question. That's kind of like a personal, don't throw rocks into me, but I don't understand. In Russia, when they say about God, and Putin even mentioned God a couple times, not much, which God they mean? I would like them to name the God they talk about, okay? Is that the same God I pray to every single day? I'm not so sure. I don't understand. So I want them to clarify that. Of course, no one's going to clarify, but, I think you get my point. It's kind of like reading between the lines. Karen from Maine, howdy. Thank you for your kind message early this morning. You are my own son. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're so wonderful. You can be sure we'll hug you right back tight. Smiles and love and God's safety from the snowy cold coast near OB. Gosh, I miss that place. I wish I was there. A good nor'easter, I'd be right there. Sitting warm and then next morning shoveling off the snow. And thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. Sending love and hugs from Tashkent. Okay, my friends, despite the fact that I slept a couple hours, I'm still sleepy. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Putin quoted Christ's last words. I missed that. I'm sorry. I gotta look at it into it. Thank you, Joss, for letting me know. I think Putin's God is Uncle Joe. Well, Uncle Joe is not God. He's a person. He was a person. He was a human. I'm afraid their God is different, Brian, when they mean which God, they of course mean Putin. Aim further, aim higher. Putin is also not God. He may be self-appointed God, but he's still mortal. He's a human being. I think you should aim higher. This thing I don't feel comfortable talking about, but I think you can read between the lines everything that I want to say. Sweet G, thank you for keeping the rest of the world informed as an insider. Keep yourself and your family safe. Thank you so very much for your message and thank you for your support. Putin is praying to Shiva. Sow winds and you will harvest storms, says Joao Moreiros. And you're absolutely right. Okay, my friends, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm inviting everyone. We have 3,500 people right now watching. I would like to invite you. I'm asking you to join me in prayer. I'm begging you. Thank you so much for joining. Give it as a little payback to me for doing all this work, preparing the material, and researching. Just pray with me. That's going to be enough to me. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining. Dear God, our Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for this day that you have given us. Thank you for not having bad news from Putin. Thank you for making my and many people's day happy. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving roofs over our heads. Thanks for giving us this day and this life in general. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please keep our children safe and healthy, and keep their skies above their heads peaceful at all times, please. Give us wisdom to raise them the way that when they become adults, they will change this world to the better. And they will never fight in any war. Dear God, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out to people who you need and you know who to reach out to. Touch their hearts, their souls, their heads. Fill their hearts with love, mercy, forgiveness, remorse, empathy. Make them awake from their lethargic sleep and see what has happened in Ukraine and what has happened in Russia. Please affect these people. Make them make decision to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected, answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Please send angels to every single Ukrainian so they keep people away from harm's way. Help my country, Russia. Send the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael in shining armor to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Make it run by the angels, make it right, make it good, make it peaceful, and make it non-threatening to others. Help those who are helping Ukrainians. God bless them, please. Help those who are traveling. Send safe travels. Help those who are seeking for asylum. Send good people and help their way, please. Help those who are hungry, sick, jobless, homeless, and have problems with their faith. Send your love to everyone and shine your light over every person who is in that position. Please help People in Ukraine, please help those who are right now without electricity, hot, cold water, and heat. Please send them your help in the way you know how to help. Um, Please help those who are in Minnesota, the United States, getting buried with a bad snowstorm. Please help those who are um, stuck on the borders of countries, different countries trying to find a better life. Please help them in the way you know how to help. Um, I would like to ask for peaceful skies for all of us. The most important things in lives of all of us are our children, our loved ones, and peaceful skies. Uh, when our children and loved ones are not healthy, when we lose that sense of comfort and happiness when they're healthy and safe, when they become they become in trouble and not healthy, get sick, and we lose peaceful skies, we realize how important these things are for us. And when everyone is healthy and happy and everything is peaceful, we take it for granted. So please don't ever let us lose these things. Please make everyone healthy, safe, and with peaceful skies above their heads. Please help women who are trying to make a choice between keeping their babies in the bellies or not. Pregnant women, reach out and talk to them so they make the right choice. Thank you so much for this community. Thank you for bringing us all together and allowing us to pray together. Please help everyone who is praying or just simply watching us pray. Make everyone's wish come true and prayer to be heard and answered. I would like to ask you for a few people who need help. They are Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Lars Henrik and Lars Henrik's mother, the highwayman, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Amanda, um, Outlander and family, people in Minnesota struggling with inclement weather, and people all over the world who are stuck in bad weather. Choris and family, David Porter, his wife and daughter, and all people in Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Enjoy every minute. Please give strength. Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Buzz Semen, Alvin's sister. Please have Alvin's mother rest in peace. Teresa D., Marsha Tucker, Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe McMahon, Meta Spencer, Deanna and family, Bree's friend, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Life, who is in the hospital. Please send fast recovery. Pamela J., please help with eyes. Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Igor, Karen from Maine, please help with pains. Janine, Michael Milkovitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, James Rhodes, Terry, Brittany S., Lars Henrik, Hannah and children, Richard Burris, Angelic at Life, and Scan family's grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly Arkady and Yuri and everyone in Mykolaiv, Ukraine, Harry's family, Merlinda's niece, Ian James, Doug, Rafaela From, Priscilla Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Allison Dave Moyers, Maureen M., and her sister, Mr. Hansen, Heidi, Bob, Tony, Kayleen, Rob, Umel and Jennifer, Matt, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, and her grandchildren and her family, Maggie, Carmen's sister, Vladislav and his father Sergey, Susie Myler, Gina, MS paramedic Liz, Wayfarer, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, and I'd like to also ask for Lazarus and for a few children who are Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, Theo, Muddy, Ansley, and Lisa. Karen Vasseur's 2-year-old niece. Please help them, send recovery, keep them healthy, make them healthy, so show them your miracle and give their parents strength, please. Also, please help all children who have been affected in Ukraine and from Ukraine, and all children who have been affected in Russia. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you so much for coming for the second stream today. It's a pleasure. I really, really am glad to see you. Thank you so much. You are absolutely awesome, and you rock. Let's hope that we have more good news coming in the following days and weeks and months and years. Please come back tomorrow for another stream. I'll be talking about what I think is going to happen next in Russia in the following weeks and months. Let's talk about that. Meanwhile, I would like everyone to join me in saying that. Are you ready? Carthago delenda est.